All right, you can do your hellos. I got unmuted.
Hey, everybody.
We'll give them just a few minutes. Let's see, there's like 30 something.
Hey, y'all. Now, you'll have to look up here. They're only going to see your ear.
I don't care.
Well, they do.
That'd be fine.
Let's get on just a second.
I still see some folks jumping on. Saw where there were some other lives going on, usually not happening at this time.
Well, maybe people choose to watch. If not, they'll go back and watch later.
They can watch the replay. It'll be just fine. There's Catherine. Okay, it is Father's Day, and here I am on live.
Here you are, fathering.
Zoe took me to lunch today at one of our favorite places, and I've got a story to tell, so I'm not going to tell what the place is.
Okay.
We probably shouldn't tell that, should we?
It don't matter.
You think we should tell what the place is?
Most of these people probably don't know. Well, I don't know if it's all over the place or not.
Kayla said, yeah, they changed their time for the summer. Well, I saw a weird time for Lester. It was like 7:38.
So at 7:38.
It was kind of weird.
Who was the other one?
I think Marie was live.
Yeah, Marie.
I don't want to mess anybody up,
sure.
but
we just caught those.
I don't. That's probably gonna mess us up more than it would mess them up.
Oh yeah.
But it is what it is. If somebody is watching Lester, they can catch the replay. I won't mind.
Rain said it's not Father's Day in Australia.
It is here. Yeah, LaDonna said they just went live.
Yeah, I was scrolling to see who else was going live tonight and saw where they were both about to click on. I said, well, dang.
Well, I couldn't. That's our normal time, so I couldn't do much about it. But that'd be okay.
Yeah.
I can go watch the replay of Lester's, and if anybody's over there, they can watch the replay over here. That'd be just fine. I wouldn't normally go live the same time as Lester, but because that's not a good idea.
Spur of the moment.
It may be, but it just wouldn't be a good idea to.
Her baby daddy's in his recliner. At least he's awake.
She didn't say nothing about him being awake.
Lester always goes live. He does go live a lot.
He does.
She said Marie. Quiet, there's Lori.
She said Marie should be about done.
I thought she was just going live.
I don't know. That's what Melba said.
Huh. Yeah, it showed Lester was live earlier today. They were doing some kind of cook-off, but he was going live right now too.
Apparently he is awake, but Catherine said he won't be for long.
I thought he would appreciate my smoothing of the hay bale.
I think he understood because you said nailed it, and he questioned if you nailed it.
Yeah,
And I replied back to him, not so much.
Yeah, I tried.
Well, Donna says she's been on up over an hour. Oh, Lester is changing his time for the summer.
Oh.
I don't want to be on the same time as Lester, but I don't really want to change my time.
I don't.
But
I don't think we should. We don't go live as often as he does. You know?
I didn't watch his on replay.
It's very sporadic.
It's not like Chestnut Hills is going to affect Lester anyway. That's not going to affect his life.
Teresa's already in the bed watching us. Y'all probably wouldn't appreciate us laying in the bed doing a live. That probably wouldn't be a good one.
No. Debbie said, how's your foot feeling?
It is much better. I decided to not go and spend that $250 copay, and so I slept on it and got up, and it's just got a pretty terrible looking bruise around my big toe and on the bottom, but everything's okay. I'm not limpy gimpy anymore.
Wanda said Lester had been live 3 times today.
I know. I saw where he was live for like 3 or 4 hours doing that cook-off.
Oh, well, I hadn't seen that yet.
Yeah, Lori appreciates us not doing our live from the bed. That's a little personal, ain't it?
Yeah, might be a little much.
Oh,
We could have a weird camera angle.
Yeah, then we'll be like, where are we going to put the camera? And then you got to lean against the headboard, and then you realize.
So I told y'all Zoe took me to lunch today. And one of my favorite places is Firebirds. And Zoe told me kind of last minute, wasn't it?
Yeah. I told you about 10 o'clock this morning.
She said, hey, we're going to be at Firebirds at 1:45. I said, we are. And that was pretty good news. And then
that's a special occasions place.
So Zoe had it already set up. And we get there, and there are people everywhere. And I was really glad that she had done the call ahead thing, made a reservation. And we still waited a little bit. It wasn't bad. But people coming in trying to be seated, it was a 2-hour wait. So, Kathy. This is a family channel, Kathy. For y'all on Facebook,
you're
Kathy
gonna make
said,
him turn red.
I am sure you already have a camera set up.
You're gonna make him look. Look, he is turning purple already.
Terrible. But anyway, so we get there and we're seated. Our server is doing a good job. But there's a table beside us, and it is a large group.
It was 14.
Yeah. And Zoe informs me she's listening. I'm not paying attention to these people.
You have to listen.
Well, I'm watching people, but I wasn't listening to conversations. Apparently, they decided to bring about 12 more people than they called ahead for seating.
They had reserved for 14 and then brought in another 14 worth and wanted to fill them in with a wait list of 2 hours.
And it's got a 2-hour seating. Zoe tried to adjust our time because we were in traffic and we didn't know if we would be there in time, which we were. But there was a little bit of interstate traffic, and we thought we might be a little late. And Zoe was going to try to adjust our time, and they didn't have one.
Not until tomorrow.
So when we got there, we saw why. And these people decided that they were just going to bring as many as they wanted, regardless of how many they had reserved. And they were trying to work with them. Well, y'all, I'm going to say this before I tell the rest of the story. If you see customers like that, try to be the balance for that server. Zoe and I made up our mind that we were going to stretch out our lunch as long as possible just to try to balance it out for this poor server. And she thanked us for that because she realized that. She said, thank y'all for being my sense of peace today, and actually gave us a complimentary dessert for doing it. And she said, do y'all want a dessert? I was like, no, just to go buy some fine. And she said, will you sit here and eat it if I bring it to you on my house?
Her and the other staff and the manager all were having to deal with this party. There was a table that came open beside us, and they tried to stick their people there, and the manager had to call multiple times and ask them to please get up, that they were not in line next. So we decided we were not going to get up until that party was done. That way they would go on and leave.
Well, he had people waiting on a table.
Right.
And he's like, you can't just take this table.
Just because you decided to bring more people than you
So
thought.
they started playing musical chairs.
They had people standing up. One guy leaned his butt against our table.
And was trying to order. He said, I'll just order standing up. And she said, you can't eat standing up.
He said, I'll order standing up.
Well, then they started playing musical chairs. Some would get up, the others would sit down. So when the food come out, they couldn't find whose food it was.
So the food all kept getting sent back because it wasn't what they ordered, but it was what they ordered. It just wasn't at the right person. She was having a tough time.
Well, one was the correct order. So, okay, if you order a club sandwich and you say, I want the club sandwich, if you want just turkey, you don't order it as a club sandwich. If they bring you a club sandwich with just turkey on it, you're going to be pretty upset.
Right.
You have to say, I just want turkey.
Right.
Well, the sandwich comes out there and she said, I just wanted turkey on this. She said, ma'am, you didn't tell me just turkey. And she said, well, that's what I want.
She said, well, ma'am, you have to specify. So of the 20 standing there, sitting there, she probably had to take at least 12 of them back to the kitchen.
Yeah. And then they decided they wanted certain orders to go because those people didn't have anywhere to sit. And it just went on and on and on like this.
She was so polite to them, and they were so harsh to her.
Y'all, we were in this place for 2.5 hours.
Just because she could walk over to us and she would go, and then she would go back. Like, for some reason, we were just her people today.
So, look, I can't even tell you everything that happened. But I told the manager before we left, I said, I told my wife at the beginning that I thought this had to be a secret
shopper
or mystery shopper, something like that, that corporate had done this to the server, that there was no way this was real. And as it went on, it was real. That's exactly what these people thought they were entitled to do.
She said that she had worked there for 3 years, and this was the worst group of people she's ever experienced.
But
our food was great. We never had an issue. She was on time and on
now, I will say this. Servers that were not having to deal with her, like there was one couple or a couple and their daughter that were waiting when we were waiting. Mm-hmm. And when they called Zoe's name, apparently their name had to be pretty close because he actually stood up and said, what'd she say? And I said, it said Zoe Baker. And he said, well, surely they wasn't calling us before y'all.
Yeah.
So they had to have been close. Well, we went on in. They got up and left with their to-go plates before ours even got there.
Yeah.
But it was not our server's fault. She was having to deal with so much crap. Mm-hmm. It wasn't the kitchen's fault. That kitchen is on the ball all the time. They've got a guy that runs that kitchen. You can hear him yelling through the whole place, but he is like
not
directing an orchestra.
Yeah.
No, he's like directing an orchestra. Mm-hmm. But so everything was fine on our end. It just took a long time. And she kept apologizing. I said, look, stop apologizing.
We kept saying, we're good.
We're fine.
We're not in any hurry. We're good. I said, we actually decided to wait it out. So if we don't move, then they'll get tired of waiting on a table for them and they'll go ahead and leave. So we're just going to hang out right here.
Just going to sit here.
So she would refill our drink and we poked around with our food and all.
There's Cassie.
Cassie said, do we eat at the Mexican place at the sale again?
No, Cassie, we would not have waited for that food.
But we actually got to enjoy it though.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good time.
But Zoe told her, she's like, look, y'all, I'm not rushing you. When you're ready for something, let me know. Zoe said, nope, we're staying for the show. And then when we did try to get our to-go boxes, is when she offered the dessert. She said, will you sit here and eat it if I bring it to you on the house? And They were getting their checks. We're like, sure, why not?
Yep.
And they actually made a reservation for the other 14 for later in the night. The manager did that when he came over.
He came over, and they were trying to fill that with the empty table that had just been cleared off. They actually said, y'all sit right here. Let's see how long it takes them to bring y'all some menus and get your drink. And he came and made a move. Like, I don't understand people. They're feeling like they're entitled to do that. Like it just, but we were able to be her calm, because if somebody else had come in and not known what was going on, they would have been expecting on demand service.
They might have been upset because of the service taking longer, but we saw what was taking her longer.
Yeah. Right, because they had just seated right before us.
It was ridiculous. But I told her, I told their manager that I thought, it had been fake. I was like, there's no way this is real.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, our server, and I told him her name, and I pointed out at the other young lady that helped her, and I said, those two handled an absolutely impossible situation, and I'm glad that they took care of us. And he said, well, I had the other managers kind of warn me ahead of time, but thank you for saying that. And he was the manager that was having to try to deal with them and make them stop getting in other people's tables, and it was just a circus.
Their family was way more important than all the other 120 families there. Parents. This kind of stuff happens all the time.
And I'm sure that it does happen a lot. But for a server to say, look, I've had bad ones, but this is the worst I've ever dealt with. That's saying something.
Her day, tell them about the ticket. They had multiple tickets where they wouldn't tip her.
No, they tipped her all right. They wrote nothing in big letters.
Yeah,
like
they would
capital
not give her a tip at all. Like, we're gonna tip you even if you don't give us good service, because we're here for you're bringing us something.
It's not going to be as good,
right?
You did your job, so I will tip something because they don't make regular wages, but.
They wrote nothing across their tickets for her. That was sad. So anyway, we had a good meal. We got to slowly enjoy it.
Yep. No kids
rush.
Screaming
and she was getting off right after that. We were her last tables. And so I hope her day turned around. Yeah.
It would be. Thankfully, she said, all I have to do is roll some silverware and I'm out of here. And well, you definitely need a break after this one. She said, no, I need a drink.
Well, Catherine, there were enough Southern ladies around. I think I might have been the only one.
No, Catherine, unfortunately, we were in the booth beside them and they were on a long table. So they pretty much had that entire area covered, and all the people standing around were trying to take up the other table. So no, there wasn't anybody with any reason around them.
Circus and musical chairs. That's exactly what it was. So we finally got a video out.
Finally,
I had to put it on Facebook. I'm gonna load it to Facebook tonight.
If you're on Facebook, we apologize. We did not get that loaded today.
We didn't, but we will. We'll get it out there. It'll go out before we go to bed.
See, Lori needed to be there. She circus and musical chairs.
Oh, and all the people around. Like it was, Nick was enjoying the claustrophobia. Is that even a word?
Apparently.
Lorraine said that's the difference in us on Australia. We have good wages for food service workers, plus penalty rates for odd hours. Tipping is optional. Okay.
We do not have good wages for food service workers.
No.
They rely on tips. But what irks me a little is for someone to hold up that tablet wanting you to put the tip in there while you're doing it electronically. There. And you didn't do crap while I was there.
Yeah.
That kind of irks me. And it'll only have selections that are good tips. I'm not going to just give this person 0, but these percentages are way above what you did.
Or when they ask you, how much tip do you want to leave? Well, I'm going to give you a tip. I'm going to tell you to leave me alone. Let me handle my business without you entering it for me. Mr. Richard sounds like a bless your heart moment.
Yeah, it was. So you were talking about your video or our video. I think I talked about it more than you did.
You did. You've been doing that lately because I've been handling off
Where
the
you
farm.
been with baseball?
Yeah, so we got our cows moved and they are enjoying the new pasture area. You know, it's the first time we've run animals through right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, well, Porky.
Yeah, it is.
Porky was
Porky
down
doesn't
there at the
count.
bottom there for a little bit. But other than that, it's the first time that we've run any animals through there, especially a heavy animal like that.
Mm-hmm. How you know it's so heavy, Zoe?
Because she stepped on my foot. I know exactly how much she weighs. I'd say 1,278 because that's how much my foot hurts. It's 1,278. It is what it is. Hey, Brown Thumb.
Yeah, Zoe was trying to interrupt. If y'all caught it, we had an impromptu live pop up
Friday
night. The kids have been hounding me because I have a brush pile, and it just, you saw on the video, I've been trimming up roads and stuff while I didn't have to record a lot of it because that's just boring. So I'm cleaning up. We're making a brush pile, and once they see a brush pile, they start hollering for hot dogs and s'mores. And I'm like, it's 1,000 degrees today, and they want a lot of fire.
Well,
so Zoe got the stuff together.
I got the s'mores and the wings.
And we did a live right as we lit it. We let it
did.
come on down.
But as the sun set, she wants to hear me say cicadas again. I don't know any other
think
way
that's one of the few times that I've agreed with other people on how to say something.
I don't know any other way to say it.
Cicadas.
Cicadas?
Yeah, that's what they're called.
Cicadas? Okay. I'll say it wrong next time too. Well, they did enjoy their s'mores and
cicadas. It is not cicadas.
Cicadas.
Susan said that is a Zoeism.
Cicadas. I'm always going to say that because that's all I can see when I read that word.
No. Well, Lorraine.
No. Because we have crickets.
We have crickets too. I'm not sure what family they go into. I'm not sure what they fall under.
Pesty bugs.
Judy, never in my life have I ever heard anyone saying like you. Meaning like Zoe?
Yeah, I'm sure. Cicadas. Okay. All right then.
That's just the way I was taught to say it growing up.
Well, I'm just reading it. I'm just saying it the way I'm reading it. I don't know if I've heard it say and thought about it.
Never thought they were.
Kind of, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
That probably is right.
Yeah. Locust,
that probably is right.
Oh, cicadas. Amazon has a cookbook.
I don't know what that. Yes, Teresa, that's what I grew up calling them too.
Katydids.
Well, we called them katydids.
Katydids.
That says katydids, but we called them growing up katydids.
Katydids. That's a lot of words to say.
It was a katydid. That's what I was taught. Right. And as I grew older, the name cicadas come out, and that's where it comes from. Katydids is cicadas.
Kayla called them katydids.
Yeah, we always called them katydids.
Mm-hmm. I don't even know what that is. Obnoxious.
It's a cicada. It's called a katydid. They sound like they're winding up when you hear them. No. Oh. I'm not doing it here.
That's what Katie
Lori
did.
said, what did Katie do?
She did it. She just did it. She just did the dang thing.
If you don't know how to pronounce it, instead of having to remember if it's cicadas or cicadas, just call them katydids.
Periodic cicadas. Cicadas. Periodic cicadas. Oh, goodness.
Well, yes, they have like hatching cycles and stuff. It's like 13 years, 17 Katie's. Years, something.
She said Katie made a noise. That's right. Katydids and locusts hop. Cicadas don't.
I don't know. I'm not an
expert on. All I know is they're all pesty.
All I know is when I heard them when I was little, they always told me that was katydids. And then as I grew up, I knew that they were called cicadas. That's all I know.
I don't think I went outside enough to ask what they were. Didn't.
Look, there's Ed. He said, look who showed up.
Well, it was me and you and Ed.
Well, I think by the time Ed got on last night, you were already snoring.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Last night?
Yeah.
We went live last night?
No, he was on Brandon's live last night. That's where I hadn't seen Ed in a while, and he popped up on the live. I think you were already out.
Probably.
You did stay up longer than Cassie, though.
I did.
Hi, Steve.
Internet says cicadas are a cousin of crickets. Cicadas are larger than locusts. Okay.
I've never Googled it. I don't guess I ever thought enough about it to look them up, but I know that the people on here will always give us the answers.
I like it.
It's a lot easier.
Oh, gosh.
They just look it up and tell us what we need to know.
So sorry.
You made it 27 minutes. That's a new record. Usually it's like 3 or 4 minutes before you start yawning.
I did it.
You made it 27 minutes before you yawned.
Do y'all know how to get a goat to go in labor? I feel like they've been pregnant for about 7 years at this point.
Lori can tell you.
You know when women are pregnant, they tell you to like walk around a lot or do some of that motor oil stuff. What's that stuff called?
Motor oil?
What's it called?
What?
That oil?
Are you talking about mineral oil?
I don't think that's what it's called. Some kind of oil.
To do what?
To put them in labor. I'm going to need my goats.
Castor oil.
Yeah, that. See? Same thing.
No, castor and motor is not the same thing. Castor oil and motor oil is not the same.
They both go in the engine.
Why does castor oil go in the engine?
Spicy food. We could give them some Mexican.
Why does castor oil, you think, go in the engine?
It lubricates.
Mm-mm. No.
The parts.
No. No, it don't.
Well, I just thought like it helps lubricate the way, and so it helps push the babies on out.
Lorraine said we need a good thunderstorm. That's a fact. If you get a thunderstorm, stuff will start going into labor.
We're supposed to have one in just a little while. Maybe we'll have some babies.
Teresa said you're thinking of castor oil. That's brand. Oh, look, man. Charles and Kathy Hobbs said the same thing.
Oh, see? I knew I wasn't wrong.
No. She said maybe next year keep the intact males from the females. No. We want them to have babies. Zoe's just ready for them to hurry up and get here.
Yes. Yeah. We only have one male left, and
no, we don't.
How many we have?
We've got Kenny and we've got Bama.
Oh, yeah. Well, still, we can at this point though we can ban Kenny. We can ban Kenny.
I'm not reading anymore. Kathy's calling me.
I see it.
Read it.
I see it.
Read it. I'm not reading it. You read it. I'm going to.
I can't. We already.
Kathy said talking about lube on the family channel.
We can't do that. We're going to get banned again.
No, we ain't. It's Kathy doing it, not us. We're just reading it.
She thought Bama was banded. I do not think Bama's banded, but we're at a point now where we can ban.
Breaking out again?
Yeah.
G&G said, and her
Echo, we want babies because that's how you grow your herd.
Yes, we're trying to grow our herd.
Yeah.
But Zoe's not milking yet so that we can grow our herd and grow more females. Kathy said, I'll stop. I was just joking, Kathy. It's keeping me tickled. I
Yeah.
don't care.
But we're at a point now where we can ban Kenny.
Why does Catherine say Hut Hut's come and live with us?
Because she wants Hut Hut to come live with us.
I thought that Hut Hut, if he left, was going to cause major issues.
No.
Because they had built him a whole new fence.
Well, it might be time.
Gotta go anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, she said that makes sense.
Growing our herd is the ultimate goal, and then I can milk the females.
So we're in a very good situation right now, with our goat babies. If it's females, we can keep them.
Right.
Our boys are going to get their own area. And then we can control which boys have access to which girls.
Right.
If we have boy babies born, we already have a farm where they will live out their life in peace because all his goats are male.
They are.
So we just band them and they can live on that farm. It's the same farm where we get most of our guinea eggs.
Uh-huh.
And the boys live in peace to be left alone from here on out.
It's beautiful there too.
Yep. And they have all kind of eating, and that's all he wants is banded males.
Uh-huh.
He wants
he
all
don't
weathers.
Want all the breeding. He don't want all that trouble. He just wants them to eat brush.
That's all. So he only keeps weathers.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have a good situation where if we need a male to go, we know that it has a good home to go to.
Mm-hmm.
Catherine said, I need to know that far. So.
I'll let you know.
Oh, goodness.
Charles and Kathy said witch hazel looks good for the, I don't know if you guys can see it,
but
it's breaking out now again.
I think it's your laundry detergent or something.
Well, it happens no matter what or where.
Yeah, but I see a different colored jug in there, and you never had that issue when you were using Gain.
I've been using that, baby. You ain't paid much attention. I've been using that for 6 months.
And you've been broke out about that long?
Well, that is true. That is true.
You've been breaking out periodically, not like solid.
It's, every day I have at least one breakout on but it's only on my forearms. It's only right here. On both arms does that. Isn't that wild?
You said that is a good situation. Bye, Hut.
Yeah. Now we could let Kenny go and get Hut Hut. We could do that.
I don't know if we should let.
Because
Kenny was a rescue.
Well, that's true.
So I would feel bad banding him and taking him to another farm. We might band him, but.
Yeah. He's a good goat.
I think we should leave him where he is. I'd feel bad rescuing a goat and then taking him to another farm.
Well, we could band him and let Hut Hut and Bama do the next breeding season.
They both have pretty colors.
That would be cool. I want to tell y'all, little Allie, she is the smallest little thing. I just love her. I love watching her out there. She's tiny.
I don't know that she can ever be bred. She is so little.
I don't know. I mean, she is tiny.
Cassie must have got off of here, but I wanted to ask her about Allie. Because Allie and Bama were both born in September when they were here.
Right.
And Bama is just normal size Nigerian dwarf, but
I wonder if she has some
Allie is tiny.
Their daddy is from Lori's. When Lori comes back, I'm going to ask if she might have had some
Catherine says April was little, but yeah, but my goodness, I don't know if she's this small. Allie is tiny. She's not much bigger than Littlefoot.
Mm-hmm. Kathy, I do not wash dishes. Honestly, Mackenzie does all the dishwashing after dinner.
There's Lori. Ask Lori.
Lori is little Allie's daddy a pygmy by chance? because she's tiny to have been born in September.
She is so little.
So tiny. I think Littlefoot might end up being the same size.
Lorraine said, "Isn't Kenny too old to ban? I think
No.
they need anesthetic once they're older."
Nope.
No. We have to use a different tool to band them.
Right. You have to make sure you get it lined up right.
That's right. You have to make sure that you're not on the nipples.
Yes.
And get it lined up just right.
Nigerian.
And we had to buy a different tool. He can't go in the normal banding tool.
Yes, we had to buy a tool for adult
that uses surgical tubing.
Yes.
But
and we've been successful with that before.
Yep.
Because they do, I mean, you do that. Lots of people do that. They'll band after they've made a round of breeding. And you just have to use bigger instruments and bigger bands.
Yeah. And you have
your position has to be
very careful.
Yeah. So it's Nigerian. She's just small.
Lori, this thing is so tiny.
She is little. I'll have to send her a picture of her and let her see, because she ain't any bigger than she was when she left Oklahoma.
No, she.
Her father was sold to me as not registered, but he came from registered stock, bought him from a friend.
Well, this thing is little.
She is.
I mean, sweet. Maybe it's just different.
But you know what's neat is her horns are only like this long. She should have longer horns.
You would think so. Y'all, we've got to get Allie and Littlefoot together.
Yeah.
Because she is not much bigger than Littlefoot.
Yeah, Catherine said she just don't want to ban Hut because he's so pretty, but he can't be trusted with his daughters.
Well, no, you can't trust any of them with their daughters, and
right. That's another reason to ban them or rehome them once they've bred if you're going to keep the babies.
And I don't remember who it was that made the comment, but somebody had thought that Bama was banded. That was the reason that Gary and Cassie didn't band him, was because of his coloring.
Yeah.
Someone would want to use him as a breeder.
Right.
And that's us.
Yes.
They were correct.
Yes.
But his coloring is kind of similar to Hut.
Mm-hmm. And
I just, Jason mentioned something about it. He said every time he hears that name, he gets tickled, and I do too.
Yeah.
It's not because I know why he says it. I can hear him.
It's like that little video on TikTok. Hey, one, Scott.
I like the name, but I like his colors.
I do too.
And you had another farm that was looking for a male, and we thought that was going to work out for Hut, but she never did answer.
She never did get back with me, and we've seen her.
So we'll have to let Hut stay for a while. If we can hurry up and finish the pen for the boys, he can just stay there. It don't matter. Mm-hmm. He just can't be in with the girls all the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's all right. We'll figure it out as we go. We're just enjoying waiting on these babies, because every day we go out and it's like, is there a new baby? Because when one hits, they're all going to start coming.
She said, wait, I thought you were talking about the moon-spotted buckling.
That's Bama. We're talking about the two that we got from Cassie and Gary.
The female Allie, that was born during September.
Well, both Allie and Bama came from two different bucks on her farm.
Right. But she thought you were talking about, apparently she thought you were talking about Bama.
Oh. Allie's mama is.
Because Bama's moon spotted.
His mama's is Oreo.
I have no idea.
Bama's
Oreo was with her
Dolly.
Registered buck. Dolly was with the moon spotted buck that was sold to her as not registered.
Yeah, so Dolly's baby is Allie.
Then that's who she's talking about.
Right.
She was with the moon spotted buck that's not registered. So Allie is Dolly's baby?
Yeah.
Dolly Walker?
Yeah. With the polka dots.
Oh, okay. And Bama is Oreo's baby.
Yes.
We got to get that goat out Brandon uses so we can keep them all straight. I don't know who belongs to.
The goat book. The part fainting goat.
Yeah, one of them is supposed to be part fainting
Oh,
goat.
it happens.
That's Oreo, right?
Yeah.
Oreo's part fainting goat.
No.
The little girl's dad is registered Nigerian dwarf. Well, she is tiny.
She is tiny.
She's a little bitty thing.
She must have got the dwarf part a little heavier than some.
It's a goat genealogy.
Whew. How many are we expecting? I think we have between 5 and 7 pregnant, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
No, probably 7 or 8.
You're right. It is between 5 and 7 because when I counted, it was 6. So that's between 5 and 7.
And I always thought it was going to be Gypsy, but Gypsy.
Lori said she thought Allie was Oreos.
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Where's Cassie? Cassie done got off here.
No,
we need information.
Allie looks just like Dolly. They're both white.
That don't mean nothing, Zoe.
I got it on my phone. That's right. Well,
it's right there recording.
Yeah, I have it in my phone, like video of them walking around.
What did I do to make Catherine laugh?
Good Lord, we're running a brothel. Gotta do what you gotta do in these hard times.
Londa said, "Who's your daddy?" We have no idea. We think all of them's daddy's probably Kenny.
Well,
yeah, because they were pregnant before Joe was.
No.
You don't think?
No, it could be Joe.
I don't think Joe was quite old enough to breed when they all started getting pregnant.
My goodness, I don't know.
Yes, Cassie, you are. She said I'm full of spice tonight. Yes, I second that. But Brandon sent me what that app is, and that's how he keeps track of all his goats, and that's what we need to do.
We do need to now.
I told him to send it to me, and he sent it to me, and we didn't even use it, and that's stupid. If I've got access to it, why am I not using it?
Yeah. So I know there's a couple of them that I'm expecting either doubles or triples. But there's 1 or 2 I think might just have a single in.
Debbie said Sean with Zion Creek has a baby Nigerian dwarf. He named Tiny Hurt because he's so small.
Oh, that's sweet.
Y'all, we're going to do that this week. We're going to show them.
Side by side.
Yes. Catherine. Yes, there's an app where he tracks the birth dates of all his goats, who the parents are, and everything. And it is phenomenal. You put all their
2 pounds
worming records in there, everything.
That's like Littlefoot. She was teeny, but she's also a pygmy.
But she's catching Allie.
She is, but she's
catching
pygmy,
up to Allie.
So you would. It is confusing.
Yes, Debbie, we got it.
It's like calling everybody Hickey. My grandmother always talked about Hickey over yonder at Hickey.
Don't start that. These people ain't going to know what that means.
Well, it's like saying Hickey down yonder. Called Hickey on the phone and was talking about Hickey.
I know.
And what
I
Hickey
had a
did this
grandmother
weekend.
that called everything that, but I wasn't going to start it on here.
A Hickey. Everything's a Hickey.
I know it. But
I don't know where Hickey went. I know which buck I put with which doe, but I don't remember which doe gave birth to which kid.
That's completely understandable.
I would know if I could get in my phone.
Yes. Ed. See, Ed's from Georgia, so he understands. He's a doohickey.
Yep.
That's usually toes. Bring me that doohickey.
Yeah. She said my Mimi called things a hickey dooger.
I've heard that one too, Kayla. Y'all gonna get these people stirred up. I don't know. I'll have to look back in the text. I have no idea what it was called. That's probably it. Something like that. Jones Christie. Jones Christie needs to give Lori a hug.
She does.
Lori can't keep track of whose goat's who.
She said once they leave her farm, it ain't up to her anymore to track it.
That's true.
How is my foot? My foot is much better. I just have a big old bruise now.
She does have a pretty impressive bruise.
I told Nick this morning that I actually did not break my foot. Oh, it was yesterday that I actually did not break my foot. But it did hurt and it had a bruise.
Cheryl's in Pennsylvania. She understands doohickey.
Yeah. They know doohickeys in Georgia.
So why is that dog hollering with Chance in there with her?
Who's watching TV?
Oh,
She's been quiet.
He
all
was
this
supposed
time.
to be in there with her.
Probably
Catherine Christie just asked me if that was it, and that may be, but I'm gonna look back in my text and let you know. So poor Zoe here. She tells me, and I'm pulling. Was I pulling the water trailer at the time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I was doing something when you got stepped on.
Yes.
Okay. So I think I was pulling the water trailer around to the troughs and doing all that good stuff. So Zoe comes hobbling up and she says, Tater stepped on my foot. Okay. You know, in typical true caring husband fashion, I said, okay, it's broken. And she's hobbling across there. I pull off with the water trailer and move on to the next troughs. So when we're done, I tell Zoe, I said, I got a job for you where you don't have to walk anywhere. I need you to get on that little tractor and spread that hay, and I was going to work on something else. I said, you won't have to walk anywhere. Just get on the little tractor. Well, she gets done with it. She comes back up and she says something about her foot. And I said, do you need to go to the ER? And she said, what do you care? You didn't even ask if I was okay. I said, well, you said it was broke. What else do I need to ask? Zoe did not think that was funny, y'all. Not even just a little bit. I said, is it broke or not? She's, yes, I think it's broke. I said, well, I don't think it is. You just walked in.
He said, do you want me to take you to the hospital? I said, no, it's going to cost $250 for them to tell us what we already know.
And it wouldn't have been but $200.
Well, whatever. For them to tell us what we already knew. Luckily.
Did you see what Catherine said? Catherine said, I started to dress up in Littlefoot and knock on your door during the live and tell you my tire fell off.
If you guys saw, if you're on Facebook, I actually posted a video in the comments of the live from the last live showing you guys what was going on outside the door. Cassie
said Dolly had Bama.
I know. Oh.
Bama's father is the buck sold to her is not registered. He's heavily moon spotted, comes from good milking lines. So you had it backwards.
I did.
Bama belongs to Dolly. So Allie belongs to Oreo.
Okay.
Right?
Well, if I saw him, I would know.
Oh.
No consoling in this family. No, shake it off and keep going. Go move
Allie's
the hay.
father is registered. Nothing exceptional, but it's registered.
She's so pretty.
That is crazy that she's so tiny.
Mm-hmm.
But, y'all, it wasn't that I lacked sympathy. I just didn't have time to deal with Zoe. So Zoe has broken all kinds of things since we've been together, but she's never worn a cast or nothing.
I've never actually broken a bone except for my little toe.
No. You haven't actually broken anything. You have said numerous things were broken.
Well, everybody said suck it up, buttercup. That's right.
My arm's broken. I broke my finger. I broke my foot. I think I broke my leg. No, you didn't. You're just...
I did break my little toe on the chair that one time. You didn't believe me until it turned purple.
And I still don't think it was broken. I think you just bruised it. But, so I left it alone. Yeah. Broken little toes, I think, is pretty common if you kicked a chair or something. It's terrible.
Judy said after you're not bleeding all over the place, you're okay.
Do you know how many... Well... I have to admit, I did ask if you was bleeding.
Why would I have been bleeding?
And you said no. That was when she first stepped on you.
Oh.
That was before you said it was broke.
She did
I said, are you bleeding? And that's when I drove off with the water trailer. I'd forgotten about that part. But I did.
Hey, farm to table.
Do you know how many times I've kicked that stupid bedroom door frame coming out in the mornings? I'm surprised my little toe is even still on there.
She ain't never had no cow step on your foot.
I have had hundreds of cows step on my feet.
She didn't just step on it. She stood there trying to get the bucket away from me. So and then I threw the bucket because I was trying to get her off of me. And you said, "What'd you throw the feet on the ground for?" Because, you meanie, I'm trying to get the cow off my foot. I think I'll waste that little bit of feed so I can get this darn cow weighs 1,248 pounds off of my foot.
In my defense, I didn't know she was standing on your foot when you threw that bucket. Y'all, I have to admit it. I did say, "Why did you throw the feet on the ground?"
Lorraine said I needed steel toe shoes. Well, I almost wore just some Crocs, and I didn't. I wore my farm boots, my rain boots thing.
Oh, gosh. Meg broke her wrist.
I saw that on somebody else's
Hey, there's Farm to Table Direct Show.
I said that.
Sorry, I was laughing. Brenda said you threw it at me.
Then it would have been mad because I'd thrown feed inside the truck.
Oh,
I know, Moody. Oh gosh, my foot totally would have been broke.
Well, at least ours are meanies.
Oh man, that would have.
Our cows are meanies, but Debbie said that's why we have little toes, is to protect our foot.
Oh, well, she stepped on my big toe, right where it comes, where your big toe and your next toe come together.
Cassie and them are coyote hunting.
Oh, I got some coyotes. I need them to come hunt.
Oh, yeah, we're going to have some video. Probably Tuesday about that. I can't tell you what happened, but we got some coyote involved video. Nellie stepped on Dr. D's foot.
Oh, no.
She's little. Like,
she's still big.
We had full-size horses stepping on our feet.
We're not, it don't matter. It wasn't my foot. I only care about my foot.
And yours is a mini cow.
And I only care, but she's a big old mini cow.
What are they talking about putting in water? If they float there bad, I'm guessing that's talking about eggs, but did somebody ask an egg question? Oh, she did. Shannon, I missed your question. Zoe, how do I check eggs that were given to me to make sure they're still good?
Yep.
Well, the answer you just got is correct.
Yes, floating. Even slightly floating can be, they're going to sink to the bottom if they're fresh. And the higher up they come,
Who said that? Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie gave you the correct answer. You float them.
Yep. If they're slightly floating, anything that is not on the bottom, I would question. If you're using them for eating, I would crack them separately. Sometimes I'll do that is I'll crack it in a mixing cup and pour it in, then crack another one and pour them in.
Connie said, Zoe, your husband is nuts.
I know. I'm glad everybody else sees
it. Y'all, I've got no excuse for it.
No.
But when I'm at the farm, I'm kind of in farm mode. If you're not bleeding, I ain't worried about the ER. And I should have at least asked, "Hey, are you okay?" But you were still walking, and I'm like, "She's fine." I just went on. I was like, "That's just Zoe being Zoe."
If I laid down, she would have just sat on me or something. You would have said, "Get out of the cow poop. You're gonna get poop on your clothes."
I don't think I would exactly say it like that.
You just did.
I wouldn't have sounded like that at all.
Zoe, get out of the poop. You ain't getting in my truck.
I probably would have said that.
You say, Rhett, get your mama out of the poop.
Lorraine says she cracked a supermarket egg and it was still in date and it was
Good night, Catherine.
Bye, Catherine.
Judy, I'm kind of a nutcase myself, I think.
Oh, you bad nutcase. Lunatic. The dead silence and look Nick gives you and then bust out laughing when you drop a Zoe. Well, that's pretty much been the way it's been since we've been married.
Yeah.
Yes, Zoe is going to milk goats.
I am.
I'm hoping that she figures out which one the females are. But it's just, I don't know it. It's different when I'm out there working. I don't have time to Zoe.
You said,
How
do we
many
need to go to the hospital or are we going to make
how
s'mores?
many times have you posted that picture of from Yellowstone where he says, "I don't have time for you today"? How many times have you sent that to me? At least
To
50.
you, yeah. To everybody else, no.
You have sent that to me at least 50 times.
Are we gonna make soaps? Yes. And I've been saving. I saved all that alpaca fiber because I really want to make the kind that has the scrubbies in it. But I do want to do. I want to sell raw goat milk. I want to
You
make
can't do
soaps.
that.
I can make it for pet consumption.
I don't think you can sell it. I don't know. I don't think you can sell it in Alabama
You can sell it if it is for
for
pet
pet consumption.
consumption.
Well, a lot of it's going to be for pet consumption because we're going to feed them broiler chickens.
Right. Well, I mean, that's another added benefit for our broilers is we have free goat milk, and that fat from that goat milk is going to help our meat birds put it on.
3B said, "Are you going to start selling soaps?"
I hope to eventually. There's so many things I want to see happen on our farm, and we've just got other things that's got to fall in place. We need more infrastructure. We need a true barn or
That's
at
coming.
least a building. I would like to have a building where I can put, I want one up at the front so we can have a storefront one day and I can milk them and all that there. And right, you can make cheese and give the whey to the animals. So there's so many things that I really, really want to do. I'm just not set up for it yet. And I know that they don't have to have a covered area and all that for milking. But ours are friendly enough that we can be hands-on with them.
We want to do that, though.
I do. I really do.
So Susan had asked Connie if she just figured that out. She said she suspected it, but tonight proved it.
Yeah. My next big thing that I would like to see happen at the farm is I think this fall I would like to focus heavily on getting the berms and swales done for the fruit
orchard.
That way, come spring, we can get it planted, right. Get it straight planted. And
Ed said cattywampus soap is good stuff.
It is.
I have probably been at 4 or 5 events that he came to. I like that stuff.
Yeah.
Cattywampus does have a good product.
Wiedemann Reap. Yeah.
You used to watch them.
I did. I hadn't watched them in a while. But there's so many projects, but like fencing is always going to be an ongoing project. No matter what farm you are, there's always more fence that you can put up. But I'd really like to focus on the fruit orchard and the potager through the
fall and definitely
through the fall and winter months.
Christy said, "What's the next event y'all will be attending this year?"
I guess it'll be ours here at Petals.
So we will be at Petals September the 14th. We've had a lot of questions about the Okie Expo in Oklahoma City. I don't think there's any way we would be able to make that event after Petals being on the 14th.
Right.
Is it doable? Yes. Is it doable for us? I don't think so.
Right. Well, that and it's football season too, so one of the kids will have a football game that evening as well. Mm-hmm. So we'll have to actually leave.
I left Petals early last year
just
for a football
like
game.
An hour early, but either way, we're still gonna. It's not like we could even just pack up and fly to Oklahoma because the boys can still have a football game that night.
That's right. Judy said, "Have you thought any more about moving your house or building your house over there yet?" Well, we can't move the house we're in. The house we're in is a site-built house. We did look at some mobile homes to put out there.
But
we talk about it almost daily, Judy.
And we talked about it at lunch today. Like one of the mobile home we looked at, what the payment would have been. I saw a house that was double the price for the same house payment.
One Scott said Farmer Rhett doesn't like the long road.
Oh no, he don't. He does not.
Christy said, how's Chance's team doing? We'll find out starting Thursday.
Yep.
So since they won their regional tournament, it's just been practices until Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday night is when the state tournament starts.
At 7:00 Thursday night, the travel time's about an hour and 45 minutes to get there and back. And then we have to be there at 9:00 Friday morning. Well, we'll have to be there at probably 8:00 Friday morning.
Yeah, they play at 9:00.
Yeah. We tried to find a room, but they're ridiculously expensive now.
I was against it.
And then we'll play Saturday all day. Well, depending on how far we get, but the goal is to play all day Saturday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. And
Rhonda
if they
is going to be spinning alpaca yarn.
I know, that's going to be exciting.
Zoe will be watching that.
Yeah, that'll be exciting.
Kayla said this week is going to be a great week for baseball and softball. I think the Eddies are starting tournaments Thursday too.
Yeah,
I think everybody's starting Thursday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll keep y'all updated on how that's going. Hopefully, Chance feels better. He played the last tournament a little under the weather, but
he seems to be feeling better. He's on an antibiotic and a steroid, and he's not coughing near as much.
Yeah, he was taking an inhaler.
Yeah.
So, we'll see how he does.
Yep.
You
but
ready
right
to wrap
now,
up?
did you know that they are seeded number 1 of 23 right now?
I did not know that. Well, that puts a target on your back. So, if y'all didn't hear that, apparently Chance's team is seeded as the number 1 seed going into the state tournament.
They're number 1 in the list.
That puts a target on your back.
Oh, yeah, for
and
sure.
You're going to be on that tougher side of the bracket, so.
Yep. That's all right. They'll either earn it or they won't.
Beth said, boy on steroids probably eating you out of house and home.
You know, that
happens anyway.
He is so tiny, but he eats all the time.
And Rhett's not tiny, but he eats all the time too.
Shannon said, if I put them in water, can I still leave them out on the counter, or do I need to refrigerate?
Oh, that's a good question, but that's like washing.
Yes.
That's a good question, but you need to refrigerate them up to that point.
Yeah, because you're washing the bloom off, and the bloom is what protects them from the elements and the bacteria and all amongst your living quarters. So they need to go into the fridge.
Kayla, where are y'all starting the state tournament playing? Said they start Thursday too, so yeah. Brian will be playing softball this weekend. But I don't know where their state tournament is.
Christy said she needed to send them some Kansas City gear. They'd wear it. They'd love that stuff.
They would wear it. Janice doesn't really watch any pro ball. Anyway,
he loves baseball, period.
He will watch like clips of baseball on YouTube and stuff. But as far as sitting down watching the game, he won't do.
They're in Hayden and
Gardendale.
Okay. Well, we're doing Pell City and
Lincoln and Oxford.
And then Oxford on Saturday. Does Mac play sports? She does not. She's in the band.
She used to play soccer, but it was too much moving.
She said,
no. There was too much moving involved in soccer, so she said, I'm out.
She played goalie in
She
soccer.
liked that because she could stay still.
She moves around with the band.
She's staring at me, by the way.
Is.
Yeah, but they're just walking.
Do you know how I'm going to punch you in your face.
I was just doing it because she's staring at me.
What instrument does she play? She plays, what is that?
What is that noise? Oh.
She plays the trumpet, which was actually Nick's trumpet when he was in high school. All right. You ready? Farmer Rhett's asleep.
Farmer Rhett has been asleep.
You told him you were going to teach him how to play Go Fish.
Yeah, but he's sleeping. But he was asleep before we went live. Mm-hmm. He was knocked out.
Go get that bucket. Yep. She is. She is very quiet.
Who?
Mackenzie.
Oh.
Not you.
No, you said she. And I was like, Mac's really not that quiet.
She's not around people like that she knows, but she's real quiet. She's pretty reserved. You ready?
Sure.
Okay. All right, guys. Well,
This wasn't that interesting. We didn't have anybody's tire come off. Nobody you were hiding from. No guns
the
involved.
elf never showed up at the door.
Oh, you need to tell them about the elf. Apparently, this clown not only watches the live, he takes clips of it and posts them as reels on his channel. And he made comments on the live, and he said something about the attic at 3 a.m. And I did not reply back, but
he told us
we won't have to worry about the elf anymore if he's anywhere at 3 a.m.
He said we needed to check our attic at 3 a.m. and that he was going to find Farmerette's school.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that Elf has decided that he needs to find Clanton Elementary.
We keep blocking him, and he keeps making new pages. So not only was he on the live with us last week with all of you guys, he also went back and watched the live again and screen recorded and then posted it to his page. Then he went back and started commenting on the last live, which was Wednesday.
Yeah.
So if you go back to last live and look at the comments on YouTube, you will see where the elf commented and left comments about hiding or checking our attic at 3 a.m. and finding Farmerette's school.
So just to update y'all and without saying too much, it's not just local authorities involved anymore. Because now we have talked about locating a kid's school.
Yep.
So it is more.
And he keeps making new screen names.
Yes, Ray, and we have reported him to local authorities, but now it's not local anymore.
He is making screen names that are enticing kids.
So I took it a lot further because I had enough, and I did not put the reply out there. But if he happens to watch this later, let me reassure you that you probably won't stand the very good odds of leaving my attic. Mm-hmm. Anyway.
Lorraine, go back to Wednesday's live and watch the comments.
It's blocked.
Oh, you blocked that one again?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You wouldn't be able to see it.
I didn't know if you...
Oh, no, the comments. You can probably see this where you comment. Yeah. But he has done the same thing with other channels. He posted some comments to other people and made posts, and he's got multiple other channels, the Eddies, and I think he had a short involving Dutch.
What was creepy was, did you watch...
Something Hayden did, he posted.
Did you watch any of the reels? He actually reached out and touched the camera,
I think he
video.
Was hitting play.
Okay.
I think he was hitting play on his phone, but no, Kayla, he would not. I assure you, he wouldn't leave my street. But anyway, we're gonna leave that to the authorities, hopefully.
I feel sorry for people like that.
There's your update.
Yeah. It is a little scary now, but you know what? We're not going to let somebody like that dictate how we live our life and all. We just have to be more alert, and we both know how to take care of ourselves and take care of the kids. So that's what we do, is we just kind of keep our eyes and ears a little more open now.
Yeah.
Because we're a lot more clean in the brain than he is.
Clean in the brain.
Clean in the membrane. No, it's
Zoe,
insane in the membrane.
Please, Zoe. Oh, we need to get off here.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.